Good evening, parents of the West Shore School District. This is the Boiling Point, and this is Mariana. So, I am, doing my very best to keep you parents informed of the things that are occurring at the West Shore. As you know, we have many issues going on from the fight of transgender bathrooms or gender bathrooms, keeping men out of women's sports, keeping boys and girls out of each other's bathrooms, the pornography in the school. We are always, speaking about something new and battling something new here at the West Shore School District. So today, late this evening, I received a call from a couple of parents from Hillside Elementary School. Now, these parents are concerned because apparently there are furries now in the school, in the elementary school. Now, this podcast is not made to attack any child, especially any elementary school child, basically because um, it's really not the children's fault. For a child at this young age, and we're talking as young as second graders, to identify as a furry, there has to be some coaching going on by the parents. But let's discuss what is a furry, because many of the parents and grandparents have heard the term, but does not really know what the term means. So you will recognize a furry by the way they come dressed to school. It can be something very simple as cat ears and tails or dog ears and tail. Or if they are, let's say, a high school age or college age, they will come dressed in a full costume to the school. Okay. And some of these children and adults go as far as crawling around, barking, meowing as a furry. So, what is a furry? So, a furry is a culture. Okay. And as per the people in this culture, the furries claim that they do not identify as animals. Rather, they have an interest in personifying animals and often create a character called a fursona that represents them. This community claims that they are about social connections and shared interests than actual belief in being animals. Um, in researching further on the furries, I came up with some adult furries are known to engage in sexual activities with other furries, and the term for that is known as yiffing. Now, guys, listen. Again, we're not looking to attack any child, but let's put things in perspective here. In having a child at any age, a teenager, in a school, identifying as a furry, it can be a distraction to other children in the classroom, making it difficult for them to comprehend what they're seeing, but also pay attention to the teacher in obtaining an education. So, this is a distraction in the classroom, and it's not helping any party. It's not helping the teacher, it's not helping the children, it's not helping them, get a good education. Now, I have spoken to a few teachers about this furry situation. And, unfortunately, with this diversity and inclusion, they have to grin and bear it. So if a child decides to identify as a furry and come to the class, and let's say the teacher asks a question and they reply with a meow or a bark for yes or no, well, the teacher has to work around that and accept that as an answer. However, what happens if that situation brings a problem? within the classroom, and I'll explain. Now, this is a whole different school district that I'm going to speak about, and this happened maybe, I would say, a year and a half ago now. I have a friend, and she has a grandson, and it's in one of the Gettysburg school districts. And they were having a situation with a young lady that identified as a furry, and the young lady, I guess, had a crush on the young man and started pawing at him, trying to get his attention. And he would, ask her to stop. He would complain to the teacher. And instead of the teacher asking the young lady to leave the class, or contacting the young lady's parents, or contacting a counselor, or even at this point, the school administrator, she will reprimand the boy because he had to learn to embrace her diversity. Now, kids being kids, when they get fed up with something, anything can happen. So this young man decides one day to bring some meow mix, the dry cat food, to the class and throw it at her. The girl became offended, started crying. So school administration gets involved. Again, this is not in the West Shore. The story did not happen in the West Shore. School administration gets involved and they decide that they want to suspend the boy. Now, of course, the parents weren't going to have it. They lawyered up, and the young man was not suspended. Did anything happen to the young lady? Probably not. So now, at the West Shore School District, we have children at the elementary school level in Hillside Elementary identifying as furries in the class. And again, it can be a distraction to your child and it can actually interrupt and disrupt their learning. Listen, we have a lot of things going on in the West Shore, like I stated. A night or so ago, we were talking about the all gender restrooms that are being kept quiet and hidden from the parents. So when a parent goes, in this instance, this particular parent went to a basketball game 2 weeks ago, and she already had heard from her child that this was happening. So she decided to walk to where the bathrooms are to find that they had men and women signs for the bathrooms, but underneath, if you can see the blue, okay, they had this sign. So you can see in the top, she pulled the paper up. You can see it right there in the top. Okay, so they were hiding the fact from the parents that they have all gender bathrooms. Now we have another situation with furries in our schools. And this is how many times really the parents that go to the school boards, how many times haven't we heard the superintendent said this does not happen in the West Shore School District? Obviously it is. It's under the radar, folks, but it's happening. It's happening. And this is concerning. Again, this is not to attack any child. I believe that at such a young age, starting from second grade on, there has to be some coaching from some parents because they want their child to be the different one. They want their child to get the attention because I cannot see a 2-year-old identifying as a dog, a cat, or weasel, or whatever they may identify as. So what's next? Are we gonna have little boxes in the bathrooms? Because a lot of people say that this is a myth, that this doesn't happen. No, there are schools, there are districts that are accommodating these kids that identify as furry, which I believe it is a mental health situation, and putting little boxes in the bathroom. Now, I haven't heard of that happening in the West Shore. Thank God. Hopefully, it will never. But parents, this is to make you aware of what is happening in our district. Do not allow anybody to convince you, especially the superintendent and anybody in the administration, that these things are not happening. These things are happening in the West Shore School District. Not only are the children speaking about it, the parents are becoming bold enough to go find out for themselves. So, if your child, if you have a child in Hillside Elementary School, and they come home stating that they are furries in the school, do not doubt what they're saying because they're furries in the school. If you feel that this has been detrimental or is becoming detrimental to the education of your child, that your child is losing focus or concentration about situations like these, then I would suggest that you email the school board, express your concern, express the incident, okay, or if it's affecting the child's, schooling, express that too, okay. Reach out to administration, um, and demand a remedy to the situation. Because again, it still comes down to this, guys. You are either born man or woman, but you're definitely not born cat or dog. And it's sad because, we have people sitting in our board that cannot or will not identify what a woman is, and who might also allow these children to live under this delusion that they are cat or dog. Because we heard this woman just a few weeks ago refusing to identify what a woman is and stating that gender is not assigned at birth. And the superintendent, passed out, administration, was stating the same thing. Then we have Brian Geiswhite, who's been at the board for many a years now, looking to fight for his seat in Region 3 again this year. And he is one of the individuals that help develop and enable and coddle this culture within the West Shore School District. Guys, we have an election coming up. And this is not to politicize anything because it really isn't. But we need to bring back scholastic excellence at the West Shore School District. Um, in the last meeting, I don't know if you guys saw the PSSA scores, scores that were horrible. They were absolutely horrible. Um, we need to have candidates, bring candidates into the West Shore School District that has the best in mind for our children, that want to see our children achieve and excel, not the same old miserable people that have been bringing all this woke indoctrination into our school. We have a lady running for Region 2 that's trying to unseat Kelly Brandt, Terry Mickle, and she is on the wrong side of everything. We have discussed this before. Okay, alongside Brian Geiswhite, also on the wrong side of everything. It's time for us to stop bringing this kind of caliber of individual into the West Shore. For Region 1, we have Mary Dankowski also. And she is another version, a younger version of Abigail Tierney with the same beliefs of Terry Mickle. Only with her, if I will do a bullet point on her, you would have to also add that she supports Black Lives Matter and Antifa. We need to stop bringing these kind of people into our school board, people that are going to continue the indoctrination and make it worse. We are tired of having our children indoctrinated, our children not knowing the difference amongst the genders and not wanting to acknowledge and accept the gender that they were born, with a lot of gender confusion. This has gone rampant in our schools, and now we have the furries. And if this is not nip in the bud, this is going to grow. As these children grow up, this is going to become a bigger problem, a bigger issue, and it's going to get out of control. So, again, parents, this is just to inform you of what's happening in Hillside. They will tell you, no, it's not happening. No, it's not happening. It is. So if you hear your children speaking about it, they're speaking the truth. They're speaking the truth. Sadly enough, they're speaking the truth. And if you feel that this is affecting your child's, you know, um, concentration, um, the child's not performing well, the child is not learning, then reach out to the school board members, write a letter to administration and to your state reps as possible because, again, We need to clean out the West Shore School District. We have to call out this nonsense for what it is. We have to protect our children's mental health, our children's health, and our children's future. So, this is Mariana signing out. God bless.